I'm going to talk about CSI Season 8, Finding Alice Season 1, and Dangerous. Well, James eats the chuck wagon sandwich with the dogs, and we got that from the food bank food truck. And I don't really have that much to talk about today. I'm kind of tired because we were hiking yesterday, and it wasn't a big hike or anything. It's just we're not accustomed to it.
Well, we were working our way back up into shape, and we weren't whipping ourselves up into shape.
No, it's a great time.
I don't believe in doing that.
No, I took it very, very slowly. So.
And I took it at basically the same rate. So I went fast at the first because Pauline started out before I did. And
so the only episode that I'd seen from season 8 of CSI before was basically the advertisement for a game. It was the people in the lab were playing a murder game where somebody was getting murdered and they were trying to solve how it happened or whatever.
Sounds like too much like work, actually.
Yeah, I know, but anyway, so I remember when I watched that, I thought, oh, this is awful, it's just an advertisement for some game that they've come up with. And here it is, it's an hour-long commercial for it, I didn't like it back then, I didn't like it this time either. But you know what? Every other episode of that season, which I hadn't seen, I liked. So, it's funny, there was an episode about migraines. And fortunately, my blood has not turned green from sulfur.
Migraines?
From sulfur, I guess. But yeah, there was.
You can get that from migraines?
I don't know. I don't know how much truth there is to any of these episodes, anyway. But
I'd like to think they'd done a little bit of research.
I did enjoy watching it, and whatever. It was an entertaining episode. It's. I don't know that everything was really explained as well as it could have been as to why they said this was transferred and that, but I didn't follow it, so I don't know. Maybe it was explained well and I just was too tired to follow it or something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I enjoyed season 8. It was a good one. So that got top of the stack over these other ones. I still have a couple seasons to go in the CSI box set there. It's a lot of episodes. So Finding Alice. This is 2 discs, 288 minutes. And honestly, like, I'm watching it in the beginning and I'm like, oh, well, it's interesting enough or whatever. It gets more interesting as the series the series continues. It has Patsy from, I think that was her name, from, what do you call it, Absolutely Fabulous. Oh. So that's great. It's always good to see her.
Is that the perky one?
Joanna Lumley? Is that her name?
Oh, Joanna Lumley, yeah, she's the one she's tall and long, right?
Yeah. So
had an affair back in the day with Rod Stewart, probably with tons of other.
Okay. Anyway,
Rod likes him blonde and tall.
All right. Well, anyway, I didn't really like the series that much. It was okay. I couldn't really identify with the main character. I as much as it's sad when people lose their loved one or whatever, I just anyway, it's easier to when you actually identify with the person, but whatever. As I said, it gets more interesting near the end, and I expected things were just going to wrap up the whole, but it doesn't. You still, her living situation and whatever, things are still up in the air. And I guess I should have expected that, seeing as it says Series 1. But, I don't know, sometimes you get some sort of a program like this where different things happen the next season or whatever, and they wrap up at this one. It didn't wrap up at the end. It's still, it's
It was a cliffhanger.
yes, there were more unanswered questions, more you're thinking, oh well, like the questions about his children and stuff, whatever. It just grew. So
Isn't that what they did one season at the end of Dallas? What was the name of the bad guy? Was it JR?
I don't know. I guess that would be a
Who killed?
nobody like JR. I think most people would consider him the bad guy, but whatever. Anyway, Dangerous. This one had Mel Gibson in it,
Oh my God.
but not in a very big role. And I think it has more to do with the, like I look on the box cover here and it has Scott Eastwood, and I'm thinking, well, is he related to Clint Eastwood? And then it has Therese Gibson, and I think, well, it must be a daughter of Mel Gibson. So I think, he's just here to try to,
Keeping it in the family?
yeah, launch their careers or whatever. But
You think Clint Eastwood could do that himself? He's a director himself. Anyway,
yeah, well, maybe he had something to do with it. I have no idea.
maybe they're
but
estranged, she and his son.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if he is his son. But it's just, I'm looking at the name and I'm like, okay, and seeing as there's a Therese Gibson and Mel Gibson, I'm
Sure.
thinking,
Yeah.
But, and
Yeah.
plus
This guy looks young to be Clint Eastwood's son, but
maybe a grandson. I don't know.
well,
Or
he's
you
had
never
several
know.
marriages, and
Oh,
he's probably
he-
got kids young enough to be our kids, and kids almost as old as me. So yeah.
All right. So anyway, the movie, there's an interesting enough story underneath all of the mediocre acting or whatever. But honestly, the leading man he should not be an actor. He's really bad at it. So anyway, this is hard to watch. It's at first I was thinking, why did Mel Gibson even agree to be in this thing, right? But he has a role where he's not having to really be in the picture. He's getting phone calls, he's answering phone calls, and so it's just, he phoned it in, really. He phoned in
Literally.
yeah, literally. And so anyway, it's not worth watching. So do you have anything to talk about?
I mean, not really. I mean, I basically was all walking, and then this morning it was just being sick. So
Yeah. No, I'm
don't
going to
know.
read James some poetry that I wrote in the middle of the night, which is probably why I'm tired. I mean, I was up hiking yesterday and then went to sleep, and then in the middle of the night I got up and I'm like, oh, I'm inspired to write 5 poems, They just, every time I said, okay, that one's done, I can go to sleep, and then I
another one
start.
occurred to you.
Yeah. So sometimes that happens, and
Yeah.
I'm thankful
a long
for
time
it.
since I've gone through that.